My girlfriend stood in the middle of our cozy apartment living room, arms folded tight across her chest, the city lights flickering through the window behind her. "I'm leaving you for Ryan," she said, her voice steady but laced with something that sounded almost like relief. "He's the one who really understands my dreams. You've been wonderful, always so steady and thoughtful. But I need someone who pushes me to chase the bigger things in life. Someone like him." I felt the words hit me square in the chest, but I didn't move from where I was leaning against the kitchen counter, coffee mug still warm in my hand. We'd just come back from a quiet dinner celebrating her latest art gallery submission, something I'd encouraged her to finish for months, staying up late to give feedback on every piece. "Now this, Ryan," I repeated quietly, more to process it than to question her. The name belonged to her old collaborator from art school, the one whose wild installations and late-night parties she'd always described with a sparkle in her eye. The one she'd sworn was just a friend, even after I noticed the messages lighting up her phone more often lately. She nodded, shifting her weight. "Yes, we've been talking again. A lot. He believes in me the way you don't anymore. You want safe gallery shows in town, steady income from commissions. Ryan's talking Berlin residencies, New York collectives. Real exposure. I can't keep playing small forever." Playing small. That phrase stung more than the breakup itself. I'd spent the last 3 years supporting her art, framing pieces when money was tight, driving her to every local exhibit, even turning down a transfer to a bigger firm because it would have meant moving away from the community she'd built here. My marketing job paid the rent while her income fluctuated, and I'd never once complained. I thought we were building something together. But I didn't argue. I didn't raise my voice. "If that's what you need," I said, setting the mug down carefully, "then go." Her eyes widened slightly, like she'd expected a fight, tears, maybe begging. "Just like that. Just like that." I walked past her to the bedroom, pulled a duffel from the closet, and started packing clothes for a few days. She followed me to the doorway, hovering. "You're not even going to ask why? Or try to change my mind?" I folded a sweater, placed it neatly inside. "You've clearly made it up. Fighting would only make this harder on both of us." She lingered for another minute, then grabbed her own bag, the one already half-packed, I noticed, and left without another word. The door clicked shut softly behind her. No slam, no drama, just gone. That night I slept on the couch, staring at the ceiling, replaying every moment I'd missed. The way she'd started staying late at studio sessions with Ryan. How she'd roll her eyes when I suggested practical steps for her career. Building an online portfolio, applying for grants, instead of dreaming about instant fame. The subtle complaints that I was too cautious, too comfortable, too content with our life in this mid-tier city where rent was reasonable and friends were close to BY morning. Resolve had settled in. I booked a short-term rental 2 hours away in a bustling coastal town I'd always wanted to explore, gave notice on the apartment, and forwarded my mail. I blocked her on everything: phone, socials, email. No angry messages. No explanations to mutual friends beyond "we're done. I'm moving for a fresh start." Then I left. The first month was raw. I'd catch myself reaching for my phone to share a funny client email with her, only to remember she wasn't there anymore. Nights were the worst. Quiet apartment. No music from her easel in the corner. No paint-smelled hugs when she finally emerged covered in color. But I didn't drown in it. I signed up for evening surf lessons, something she'd always teased me for being too risk-averse to try. The cold water shocked me awake every time, and slowly the ache dulled. Work shifted too. My boss had been pushing me toward a senior strategist role that involved more travel and higher-profile clients. I'd hesitated before because it would disrupt our routine. Now I said yes. First trip, 3 weeks in Seattle for a major rebranding project. I thrived on the challenge, staying late to refine pitches, networking at industry mixers. Colleagues noticed the change. Sharper ideas, more confidence. Promotion came faster than expected. Back home, new home. Really, I renovated the small beachside rental into something mine. White walls for bright light, shelves for the design books I'd collected over the years. I started running at dawn along the shore, joined a local photography club to capture the landscapes she'd once said were too predictable for her art. My body changed, leaner, stronger from the surf and runs. My mind cleared. Friends back in the old city sent occasional updates. She and Ryan had moved in together quickly, chasing some collaborative project that promised gallery attention. At first it sounded exciting, posts about late-night brainstorming, photos of them at trendy openings. But the updates slowed. Then shifted tone. One mutual acquaintance mentioned over coffee during my rare visit back. Things aren't great with them. Ryan's intense, always criticizing her work, pushing her to match his vision. She's exhausted. I nodded, said little, didn't ask for details. 8 months in, the first message came from an unknown number. It's me. Can we talk? I made a terrible mistake. I deleted it without replying. More followed. Emails to my work address she'd somehow found. Long ones at first, apologetic, nostalgic. Remembering quiet mornings when I'd bring her tea while she painted. How safe she'd felt with me. Then shorter, pleading. Ryan's not who I thought. He's controlling, dismissive. I miss your kindness. Still nothing from me. Her best friend called once, voice sharp. You're being cold. She's struggling. The least you could do is hear her out after everything you two shared. I ended the call politely. Blocked the number. A cousin of hers even reached out on social media. Family's worried about her. Ryan's dragging her into debt with these big ideas that aren't panning out. She talks about you all the time. Regrets everything. I archived the message. The truth trickled in slowly through the grapevine. Ryan's big connections turned out to be mostly talk. Their joint project fell apart when promised funding vanished. Galleries passed, said the work felt derivative, forced. She stopped posting art altogether. Friends noticed she looked tired, thinner. Ryan started staying out late, blaming her for holding him back creatively. By the 1-year mark, word was they'd split messily. He'd moved out overnight, leaving her with unpaid studio rent and a pile of rejected submissions. She took a part-time barista job to cover bills. Something she'd once sworn she'd never do, said it would kill her soul. Meanwhile, my life expanded in ways I hadn't imagined. The senior role led to speaking gigs at conferences. I bought a small house near the coast with ocean views, something I'd saved for quietly over the years. Surfing became meditation. I entered amateur photography contests and actually placed in a few. Dating started slowly. A woman named Clara from the photography group, warm laugh, steady presence, shared love of early morning light over the water. No games, no comparisons. We took weekend trips up the coast, shooting film in tiny fishing towns. She appreciated the planning I did for our adventures, never called it boring. The real confrontation came unexpectedly at an industry networking event back in the old city. A design and marketing crossover mixer I'd agreed to attend for work. I walked in with Clara, both of us dressed sharp, laughing about a photo series we just finished. Across the room, there she was, alone by the bar, nursing a drink, hair pulled back severely, makeup unable to hide the exhaustion in her eyes. When she spotted me, she froze, then made her way over slowly. "Hey," she said softly, voice cracking on the single word. "You look amazing." Clara excused herself politely to grab drinks, giving space. "Thanks," I replied evenly. No smile, no warmth, just acknowledgement. She shifted, clutching her glass. "I heard you're killing it at work. Senior strategist now, right? And the house? Congratulations." I nodded. "Listen, She took a breath. "I was wrong. About everything. Ryan was a disaster. Controlling, selfish. He tore my work apart, then left when it didn't instantly succeed. I've been trying to rebuild, but it's hard. I miss what we had. Your support. The way you believed in me without demanding I change." I let her finish. "I know I hurt you. Badly. But seeing you now so happy, it hits me how much I threw away. Is there any chance we could talk? Coffee? Start over as friends even?" For the first time, I felt truly nothing. No anger, no lingering love, just clarity. "You made your choice," I said calmly. "You wanted bigger dreams, someone to push you. I hope you found what you were looking for." Her eyes filled. "I didn't. I thought excitement was everything, but it was empty. You're the one who was real." "Maybe," I allowed, "but I'm not available anymore. Not for coffee. Not for friendship. I've built something new, and it doesn't include going backward." Clara returned then, handing me a drink, slipping her hand naturally into mine. My ex's gaze dropped to our joined hands, then to the simple silver ring Clara wore, the one I'd given her quietly after a sunrise proposal on our favorite beach. "Oh," she whispered. "I didn't know. Now you do." I turned to Clara. "Ready to head over to the rooftop? The view's supposed to be great tonight." We walked away together, leaving her standing alone in the crowd. Later, driving home with Clara asleep against the window, the city lights blurring past, I felt the final peace settle. No bitterness, no need for revenge. Just peace. I'd chosen myself when she chose illusion. And in the silence I'd created, I'd found something far better. Some chapters close quietly. Others slam shut. Mine simply turned the page.